It was one of those days that started out so normal, so ordinary. You know the type. The kind of Saturday morning when the sun is out, the birds are chirping, and you just know the world is spinning around you in perfect harmony. It was the Willow Creek Annual Summerfest, the HOA's big event for the year. If you've ever lived in a neighborhood with a homeowners association, you know the type of event I'm talking about. Everything is perfectly planned. Everything is curated just right. The kids' games, the food stands, the local band playing something that sounded like it came straight out of a 90s sitcom. But in the middle of all that carefully constructed joy, something was about to go horribly wrong. Now, if you're wondering where I'm going with this, I'll just tell you, it's not the party that matters. It's what happened next that'll make you rethink everything you know about neighborhood peace and what it really means to be part of a community. So, here's the thing. I have a son, Eli. He's 10, and he's got autism. And for all the usual challenges we face, Eli is a brilliant kid, full of joy and curiosity. But, like many neurodivergent individuals, Eli sees the world a bit differently. He's nonverbal, which means his world is often a whirlwind of sensory overload, things that most of us just ignore. The sounds, the lights, the sensations, everything is amplified for him. And because of that, things like loud noises, especially unexpected ones, can really set him off. You see, it's not something he can control. It's like his whole world becomes a storm, and there's no way to quiet it down. So when he's having a moment like that, all he needs is calm, love, and patience. And that's how it was that day until it wasn't. We were at the Summerfest, just like every other family, trying to enjoy the afternoon. Eli was doing what he loves most, watching the sunlight flicker through the leaves of a big oak tree. His hands were moving in that delicate way he does when he's at peace, a sort of rhythmic motion that I've learned to recognize as his way of saying, I'm okay, I'm happy. But then boom, a balloon popped. I can't even describe to you the intensity of it. I mean, for most people, it's a harmless little thing, right? A burst of air, a quick pop, and that's it. But for Eli, that balloon wasn't just a noise. It was like an explosion inside his head. I saw him freeze. His hands immediately shot up to his ears. His eyes went wide. And then his little body started trembling. I could feel it. The panic. The fear. He dropped to the grass, curling into himself as the world around him spun faster and faster in his mind. Eli, it's okay, buddy, I whispered, trying to comfort him. But the truth is, no words could calm him when the world was too loud, too fast, too overwhelming. He needed peace. He needed space. He needed understanding. And as I knelt there, trying to get him to focus on my voice, I realized that the crowd around us, the parents, the families, were starting to notice. And not just notice, but stare. That's when I saw him. Officer Mark Bishop. Now, let me tell you, Officer Bishop was not the type of guy you'd want to have at a children's event. He was big, built like a linebacker, and had a scowl that could melt steel. And when he saw Eli shaking on the ground, clutching his ears, I knew right away that he wasn't seeing a child in distress. No, in his eyes, Eli was a problem. A threat. Someone to control. He pushed his way through the crowd, his eyes locking onto Eli. What's all this commotion? He bellowed, his voice cutting through the air like a knife. He wasn't speaking to us, was speaking to everyone. And then his eyes zeroed in on Eli. This boy's causing a disturbance again. My heart sank. I tried to explain. I really did. Officer, Eli's autistic. He's just having a sensory meltdown. He's not a threat, I said, my voice shaking. But he didn't care. His lips twisted into a sneer as he stepped closer to Eli. Meltdown or a tantrum, Bishop muttered, almost to himself. He's disturbing the peace. Again. And then it happened. Without warning, Bishop reached down, grabbed Eli by the arm, and yanked him up off the ground. My son was terrified, screaming in panic, trying to pull away. But it didn't matter to Bishop. He was focused on handling the situation. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. No one was stepping in. The crowd around us was watching, some of them with uncertainty in their eyes, others just too stunned to move. But then thankful Asomion did step in. Dr. Lena Hayes. I didn't know her personally, but I knew who she was. She was the new director of the Office of Neurodiversity Affairs. She worked in Washington, pushing for rights and support for neurodivergent individuals. She had been invited to the Summerfest as a guest of the Vance family. And when she saw what was happening, she didn't hesitate. Without raising her voice, without even flinching, she walked straight up to Bishop. "Let go of that child," she said, her tone calm but firm. There was something in her voice, a quiet authority that made everything around us stop. Bishop didn't know who she was. He probably thought she was just another concerned onlooker. "You're using excessive force on a minor," Lena continued. "A minor with a known disability. You're committing a federal offense." Bishop's face twisted into a mask of confusion, then contempt. "Who the hell are you?" he shot back, sneering. Lena didn't budge. "I'm Dr. Lena Hayes, National Director of the Office of Neurodiversity Affairs," she said, each word measured, deliberate. "And I'm telling you, right now release that child." In that moment, I could see it. Bishop was starting to realize that he had gone too far. I don't think he expected anyone to stand up to him, especially not in front of a crowd. But Lena wasn't backing down. And that's when things took a turn. The local police arrived. They took one look at the situation and immediately started cuffing Bishop. It was clear to everyone now. Bishop had overstepped. He had crossed a line. And then, as Lena was walking away, she turned to me and said, "This isn't just about one officer, is it? This is bigger than that." She was right. Lena's investigation soon uncovered a pattern. It wasn't just Bishop. It was the whole system. The HOA, the security company, and even the community itself had created an environment where people like Eli, people who were different, weren't just misunderstood. They were targeted. And Lena? She wasn't going to let this slide. Her office launched a full investigation into Sterling Security, the company that employed Bishop. What they found was a deeply disturbing web of corruption, discrimination, and negligence. The HOA, under Karen Sterling's leadership, had quietly been allowing this to happen. It was systemic. It was deliberate. But that wasn't the end of it. Lena pushed for change, and with her tireless efforts, Eli's law was born. It would ensure that no person would ever be treated this way again. Officers, security guards, and law enforcement would undergo specialized training to understand and handle neurodivergent individuals. No one would be allowed to get away with using force against a child like Eli again. And as for Eli? Well, he's healing. It's slow, but he's stronger than anyone could imagine. He's become an advocate for others like him, using his voice to raise awareness and support for those who need it most. I'll be honest, it hasn't been easy. But I wouldn't change a thing. Because when the world tried to silence Eli, it woke up a whole community, and maybe, just maybe, it's starting to get it. So, what do you think? Are we really doing enough for people like Eli? Are we truly accepting, or are we just pretending? Leave a comment below, let's talk about it. Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's story on Store of Good Stories. If this story touched your heart or made you think, don't forget to hit like and share the video to spread this positive message to more people. And if this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the meaningful stories we share every week. Your support is the biggest motivation for Store of Good Stories to keep bringing heartfelt and valuable stories to you. See you in the next video.